Up in the morning, the angels found the farmer and his wife in tears. Their only cow, whose milk had been their sole income, lay dead in the field. The younger angel was infuriated and asked the older angel, "How could you have let this happen? The first man had everything, and you helped him," she accused. "The second family had little, but was willing to share everything, and you let the cow die." "Things aren't always what they seem," the older angel replied. "When we stayed in the basement of the mansion, I noticed there was gold stored in the hole in the wall. Since the owner was so obsessed with greed and unwilling to share his good fortune, I sealed up the wall so he wouldn't find it." And I made it really small. Okay. Then last night, it says, I sealed up the wall so he wouldn't find it. Then last night, as we slept in the farmer's bed, the angel of death came for his wife, and I gave him the cow instead. Things aren't always what they seem. Sometimes that is exactly what happens when things don't turn out the way it seems they should.
Yeah.
So, it's not always as it seems, like with coworkers or with people. Sometimes they come in and you think they're just being rude to you, they didn't say hi, but you don't know maybe what they're coming from at home. So things aren't always as they seem. And you get 1,000 points for listening to the story.
We should each get 1,000 points.
Okay, so who got it?
Okay, who was that?
That was you. Was that your first or second?
That was our first.
Okay.
We didn't do it.
That's right. So second,
We will do listen for 500.
I'll read this one. We're on a bus in the back, of course. People are busy coming and going. At the first stop, a woman with a red coat gets on. Then at the second stop, a man with a green bag sits next to her and begins to eat an apple. At the same time, a woman with a baby gets on the bus. At the third stop, 3 students get on the bus, each with an orange backpack, and one has a Bethel home hoodie on. At the last stop, everyone gets on gets off except those in back. Who is still on the bus?
One with the Bethel home hoodie.
The person talking. They're all in the back.
You'd have to read it over again.
No, that was the key to this one. You had to listen.
We are.
Yeah, we're in the
Yeah.
back.
Because we said we're on the bus.
Yeah.
Okay. That was 500.
Okay, so last 2 questions. Go, great thinkers.
We are tied, by the way.
Oh.
2,500 to
That would have been fun to go to
2,500.
Final Jeopardy. Okay.
Think for 500.
It's not always as it seems. Oftentimes, if we could see behind the scenes in life, it would greatly change how we would react in the moment. Sometimes that cranky coworker isn't just being selfish or hurtful towards you. They may be dealing with their own hurts and struggles at home, or with a very serious situation in their life. Or maybe they have just had it rough even from childhood, and that is the only way they know how to cope or interact. So for us, what's important in any situation is to pause and think before we speak or react. Try to consider that they may be dealing with something we don't know, and choose patience in those moments. No question for this one, just 500 points for this.
Which team was that?
That was us.
Great thinkers number 2.
Stay positive for 300.
In working with our residents, staying positive is essential. They are battling so many emotions: loneliness, sadness, boredom, anxiety. But we are strong, and we are here to help them have hope so that they can see things positively. Name one way you have helped a resident who was dealing with some of these emotions.
Listening. Hugging.
Validate.
Yeah. Just saying their name, pat on the shoulder, good morning, good to see you.
Touching.
And remember that, that's a little awkward, but remember that hand approach. It's hard to do it to yourself. I guess you can. I'm like, I don't know. But that feels different, but maybe less threatening than that. So I really encourage you to try that with a resident. Okay, good job. Okay, better than that. Let's go. 2 more questions.
Stay positive for 500, please.
I'll let you do that one.
All right. The following are choices. Attitude is a choice, happiness is a choice, optimism is a choice, kindness is a choice, giving is a choice, respect is a choice. Let that sink in. No one can take those choices from you. All of these, if we choose wisely, will enable us to stay positive in a negative world. Name one thing you do to stay positive and overcome the frustrations you face on the job.
Ready, set, go.
Smile. Smile with your hands to the phone.
Yes,
Seriously, you
always.
can hear it in your voice.
Or you go into that meeting that you're dreading, or you're meeting with that resident's family, or you're whatever, having to clean up a mess or fix something for the 30th time. Yeah. Candy walks a lot. That's gotta help. Exercise is huge to get rid of a lot of the frustrations and the tensions that we build up. And she does it in here. I hope I'm not giving away your secret. But I encourage you all, even if it's just 1 lap around the building, do it. It will really give you a new perspective, and I can go back and I can put on my face and make this person stay happy. Okay, 1 more, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then we're going to final.
Which 400 one? Yeah, 20. Listen for 400.
Okay. Oh, can't do that one. Sorry.
Stay positive for 400.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna have to come up with a new game. Y'all don't go for the hundreds now.
A positive attitude helps you cope more easily with the daily affairs of life and in working with residents and your coworkers. Being positive brings optimism into your life and makes it easier to avoid worries and negative thinking. If you adopt it as a way of life, it would bring constructive changes into your life and make you happier, brighter, and more successful. With a positive attitude, you can see the bright side of life, become optimistic, and expect the best to happen. What's one thing you do to turn a negative situation at work into a positive one?
Kind of a similar thing.
Similar question.
What can we do to take something negative? Not necessarily that it's a bad situation, but something negative that's going on in the workplace.
Don't get angry.
Yeah.
Stay neutral.
Making sure you know the whole story as well. I can assume that, this person didn't say hi to me because they don't like me. Maybe they didn't hear me say good morning. Maybe they were completely thinking of something else. Maybe they were like, oh my gosh, I have to go in and whatever. So, yeah. I find myself when I'm walking down on the floor to change something on the schedule, very focused, because I know if they sidetrack me, I'll forget and I'll not get it on the schedule. So I probably look like I'm ornery because I just want to get to that schedule so I remember to write it down or tell somebody that. Okay, Final Jeopardy. So, what's our score?
We
So you
have,
Great thinkers,
great thinkers have 3,300,
be better than that.
have 3,400.
Okay, so you have to write on a piece of paper how much you want to wager. And you have 5 seconds. Boy, they're just making me do everything. Goodness. Okay, get your wagers, Jeanette.
Handing it back to you guys.
Turn them over.
Isn't that what it
Oh, yeah.
is? I got 34 more.
Okay, everybody wager? Turn it over. Okay, Final Jeopardy question is,
Okay, name all 5 of the categories that are specific to great communication.
Do we have to write those down?
yes, please.
Okay.
Those are the ones that were up on the board, the 5 categories on the board.
Yep. What else can we do? What's something from the video?
I did this. Think positive.
Oh, the mini? Okay, second part of the question. All behavior is some form of, write it down.
No, on purpose.
I'm sorry, this is,
What?
I'm sorry, this is,
Got it.
and you need to understand me. To listen, you need to understand me.
Yes.
Do you know, Mom? Or do we have to open the board up? Okay. Okay. Done.
What was the last question again?
In order to understand me, you need to me. Okay. Okay. Great thinkers, how much did you? No, do I do that now?
How much
So
would
you have to
we?
answer the question.
Gotta answer the question
Answer the
first. Yeah, I
question,
gotta start watching Jeopardy. Okay, so name the 5 areas.
Positive, listen, think, use your body, respect.
Ding,
We have the same thing, stay positive, respect, listen, think, use your body.
ding. Okay, what was my first question? All behavior is some form of.
Communication.
Yep. I'm sorry, this is.
Hard.
You need to
Listen and validate.
validate, validate, validate.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all got them right. Who was in head? Great
than that.
thinkers. How much did you?
How much did you weigh?
3,300.
Okay, so then they got
66. Okay, better than that.
300 too.
Is it seriously another tie?
No.
No, they're about, yeah.
700.
60.
Yay! So y'all,
I have candy in my office, you guys all stop.
so as you know, winners of Jeopardy because communication is also too important not to know.
We're gonna roll these guys in the parking lot. We got the elevator.
Okay,
way up.
but you all are A.
Thank you.
I've been around for a long.
Awesome, good job. Okay, questions. One thing I do, just as a commercial break, I do want to just put out a reminder that our campus is a smoke-free campus. So what that means is that if you are a smoker, you need to be in your vehicle. If you do not have a vehicle, you need to be off campus or in somebody else's vehicle. We've been having a little bit of smoking outside of doors and outside of the building, and that's not how we want to present ourselves.
Can I ask you a question? Off campus means where though?
Right.
Because we don't
Good
want to stand in
question.
our neighbor's lawn.
No,
and smoke
good
cigarettes.
point. On the
Probably wouldn't go over well.
Go over to the church, yeah. No, you really need to, the policy reads you need to be off campus or in your car. So, I guess, yeah, if you do not have a vehicle, you truly need to find a friend that does, or walk downtown or something, I don't know, but, yeah.
Residents can still smoke though, right?
What's that?
Residents?
Residents can still smoke, yep, outside the door. Yeah.
We did move the smoking stick out over to the other corner, so the smoke can go out of the carport rather than be sucked into the office.
Right.
We have a lot of resident families who say, "Oh, it smells smoky in here," and so we just moved it to the other end. Now
Yep.
that our gentleman isn't here,
Right.
just so that it does have a chance to get outside
Yeah.
and move on rather than coming in the
You
building.
can really notice it, yeah, when you're
He
walking.
was out back.
Anything else that anybody has questions? Make sure that you signed in, make sure that you answered whether or not you're punched in or not. That saves us some time on making sure that you get paid. Thank you all for coming. We truly do appreciate each and every one of you.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good